What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garage. We're getting a little bit of a late start today because honestly, I was just tired and didn't feel like doing much. But in all seriousness, we're getting a fairly late start today because we've had my nephew this entire weekend, and he's been hanging out. We've been playing some video games, having a good time. But today, he's going to help me out with the pieces of crap. So, let's get started. And of course, as soon as I start filming, it starts to rain. So, we are going to have to pull the Avenger into the garage. So, let's get that taken care of right now. Alright, so we got the Avenger in. A couple of things that we got to do on that today. We've got to put this backing plate on because I forgot to put it on when I was doing the brakes. And also we're going to try and put this on. This is a motor for the AC door things. So we're going to...
And I'm going to be helping.
He's going to help.
Woo!
You got it. Come on. Alright, so forgot to put this on. This has got to go here-ish. So we're about to slam this on the car. And we're done. Good.
Get that out of our way. Let's see if I can do this. Oh my god, so close.
Oh, you're close.
Hang on there.
All right, good job. Now we're gonna check out the spark plugs real quick, just to see if those are gapped correctly, because we are having a bit of issues here and there. All right. Let's see. That spark plug doesn't look too bad. All right, so the gap is correct, 0.043. So we're just gonna check the other ones here. All right, so all of the spark plugs look to be of the correct gap, so we're going to put them all back in, start it up, test it out. Jess has got to take the car real quick, so we're going to pull in the Cavalier here real fast. So when the previous owner had this, he just had these speakers just resting inside there. So I popped them out a little bit with on some screws. It's kind of jank, but it does hold it in place. The problem is that we're not getting any sound out of these, and we haven't been since we bought the car. I didn't think that changing the mounting would really do anything, but it at least got it out of the way of the window when I rolled it down. Alright, so I still can't figure out where the short is in the wiring for the speaker on the Cavalier. It's somewhere in between the head unit wiring harness and the actual door wiring harness, because when it terminates at the door, it doesn't have any resistance at all, and yet when it's at the front by the head unit, it is getting a decent amount of resistance. So I'm not entirely sure where the short or breakage is, and I can't really justify that, spending all of the hours that it's going to take to disassemble that part of the wiring loom just to figure out what's going on. So we pulled the Jeep in. I'm going to try and get to the front differential. I just put some windshield washer fluid and coolant in it just to be safe, and I'm going to check the front diff. Alright.
I can't get down on the ground. Oh, wait, yeah, I can.
So we are going to try and take the diff cover off real quick and drain that and open it up to see what's up. Look at that. Look at that thing. Ugh. That's... So I took off the front diff cover, and everything looks okay as far as gears go. So it hopefully isn't a gear issue. I do still have to replace that input seal and bearing, because that is definitely leaking, but hopefully everything else will be fine. I did not get to do the diverter door in the Avenger yet. I will be doing that sometime. I'm not exactly sure when, but I will probably pop out another video on how to do that, because I looked it up and it's not that hard to do. So we'll see how that goes. But now I'm going to go in, get myself cleaned up a little bit, because we are going to be going to see a movie and get some food. So I'll see you guys then. What's going on? It's Monday, and we are going to hit up the store real quick. So I was doing a lot of research yesterday, and I think I'm going to try and have the diff serviced by a shop first before I give it a go myself, because I'm missing a couple of key tools for working on a Dana diff, and I really don't want to make the situation any worse. However, so far I have not been able to get a shop to give me a quote over the phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this diff back together. I'm going to drive it out to a couple of shops over this next week, see if I can get some actual quotes. If those quotes are reasonable, then I will get it done by a shop. If they are way out of my price range, then I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and try to DIY it. So what we're going to need to do is hit up Harbor Freight real quick. So let's head out there. Let's go get some stuff. Soon. Alright, we got our crap. Now let's head back. Alright, we are back from Harbor Freight, and we got all of our stuff. So let's get started on this diff cover, and then we will move to the actual diff so I can clean all the goo off of that, and then put more goo on it and put it back together. Alright, so this is I used a razor blade to cut most of it off, but we just got to use a little bit of steel wool to get the rest of it off. So I've cleaned the outside as well as most of the backside up of this, and I'm actually painting it right now because a lot of the paint had worn away around the ring here. So while that is drying, I'm going to get under the car and see if I can clean up that mating surface, and then when I'm finished with that, come back out here, give this another a run through on the mating surface, and then give another coat of paint, and then we should be good. Alright, we are all cleaned up under here, so we're ready for the cover. cover is drying off right now, and final coat of paint, so we'll pop that on in a second. Alright, so we got the cap back on. So I'm just putting these bolts back in. I'm going to check the flex plate bolts next, just to be safe, because I heard that that can sometimes be a problem. Stick some thread locker on those, but other than that, I'm just going to put some diff oil back in here. Alright, so I put the diff back together in the Jeep, and that's all good. I'm going to take it to a shop soon here to see if I can get a quote on fixing it. I was going to check the torque converter flex plate bolts in there as well. However, I could not get the plate off that covers those. The bolts are pretty rusted shut, and I couldn't get them to budge, and I was afraid of breaking them off, and I didn't want to do that. So I'll see if maybe the shop can take a look at that as well when I take that in. So after that, I took apart the XJ bumper guard that I got at the junkyard the other day, and like pretty much half of the bolts on that broke, so I'm going to need to get some new hardware for this but after I clean it up anyway, but you know, that can wait until we start mocking it up on the actual car itself. But anyway, that's going to be pretty much it for today, guys. I'm going to clean up the garage a little bit, then head inside and start editing this video. So have a great week, guys. I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.